Hello there, thanks for joining me for math today. Today we're going to be working on lesson 11-7 and we're on page 498. Today we're going to be solving multi-step inequalities. So I'm going to go through and give you some examples 1 through 7 and then you may do the assignment as listed on your daily assignments. Let's get started. Number 1, 5x plus 3 is less than 18. I'm going to rewrite the problem. 5x plus 3 is less than 18, and I want to isolate the variable. So I want to get the 5x alone on the left side of the variable, of the less than sign. So I got to get rid of the plus 3. I'm going to subtract 3. If I subtract it from the left, I got to subtract it from the right. I'm left with 5x is less than 15. Now I've got to divide by 5 so that I can get x alone. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 1 times x is x. X is less than 3. So in this answer, the values that would be included are all numbers less than 3. Number 2. Negative 19 is greater than or equal to z over 7 plus 23. So the first thing I want to do is get rid of my number that is not connected to a variable. So that would be my plus 23. The inverse of plus 23 is minus 23. I'm going to subtract 23 from the right and 23 from the left. Now I've got a negative 19 and a negative 23. Essentially, I'm finding out how many negatives I have, which in this case would be 42. 23 minus 23 leaves me with 0. So I have negative 42 is greater than or equal to z over 7. Now I've got to get rid of this z divided by 7. The inverse is multiply it by 7 over 1. If I multiply the right by 7 over 1, I got to multiply the left by 7 over 1. And I can simply put negative 42 over 1 and turn that into a fraction. The 7's cancel. I'm left with z over 1. Z divided by 1 is simply z. Now I'm going to go over here and multiply straight across. 7 times a negative 42 is equal to negative 294. So my answer is negative 294 is greater than or equal to z. Moving along to number 3. First I'm going to write the problem. 3y minus 4 is greater than or equal to 14. I'm going to rewrite my problem. And I'm going to add 4 to the left. I'm going to add 4 to the right. And I have 3y is greater than or equal to 14 plus 4 is 18. And I'm left with 3y. My variable's y. I need to isolate it, get it alone. It's being multiplied, so I'm going to do the inverse, which is divide. If I divide the left, I got to divide the right. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 1 times y is greater than or equal to 6. Number 4. 5m minus 1 plus 2m is less than 20. So I need to first combine like terms. I have a 5m here and I have a 2m here. Positive 5m plus 2m gives me 7m. Then I'm going to rewrite the rest of the problem so I leave nothing behind. Now I know my variable is m, but this minus 1 is in the way. I got to get rid of it. I'm going to add 1. If I add it to the left, I got to add it to the right, and I'm left with 7m is less than 21. And then I have 7 times m. Going to do the inverse operation, which is division. 7m divided by 7. If I divide the left, I have to divide the right. 7 divided by 7 is 1. 1 times m is less than 3. So we know that those values include everything less than 3, but does not include 3. All right. Number 5. 28 is less than or equal to 6 times the quantity of x plus 4. So I'm going to rewrite this. 28 is less than or equal to 6 times the quantity of x plus 4. First, I'm going to use the distributive property. And I've got 28 is less than or equal to 6 times x is 6x. 6 times 4 is 24. Now I want to move this 24 over here because it's not associated with a variable. I'm going to subtract 24 from the right. I'm going to subtract 24 from the left. And I have 4 is less than or equal to 6x. Now I want to divide by 6 to isolate the variable x and get it by itself. 6 divided by 6 is 1. 1 times x is greater than or equal to 4/6. We can reduce 4/6 by dividing by 2. So 4 divided by 2 is 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So our answer is 2/3 is less than or equal to x. And notice I can read this as 2/3 is less than or equal to x, or I can read it as x is greater than or equal to 2/3. Number 6. 5t is greater than 3t minus 10. So notice I have 5t over here and I have 3t over there. I want to get them on the same side. So I'm going to move this 3t. I'm going to subtract 3t from the right, subtract 3t from the left. 5t minus 3t is 2t is greater than negative 10. I'm going to divide by 2. If I divide the left, I got to divide the right. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 1 times t is greater than negative 5. The one thing I just noticed is that I didn't graph any of these. So let's go back and do some graphing. Let's go back to number 1. X is less than 3. So number 1, the graph would look like this. That's 0. This is 3. So x is everything less than 3 but does not include 3. And because it does not include 3, you've got to leave the window open of your point. So it's an open circle. Number 2. It is z is less than or equal to negative 294. So we have this really long graph. We have a 0 here, and we have negative 294 all the way out here. Notice it is less than or equal to. So this is going to be a closed dot, and it's going to be everything beyond and to the left of the negative. It's going to be from negative 294. Your value could be negative 294, or it could be negative 295, or it could be negative 3,472. So it's a closed circle continuing all the way to the left. Number 3, y is greater than or equal to 6. So let's graph this one. Here's our 0, here's our 6. Because it's greater than or equal to, we know our 0, our point is filled in. It is a filled circle. And so our value can include 6 and everything greater than 6. Number 4. M is less than 3. Here is our graph. We have 0, we have 3. Notice it's just less than 3, so it will not include the number 3, but everything less than it. So it's an open circle. Notice open circle, closed circle, closed circle, open circle. Keep that in mind. Number 5. X is greater than or equal to 2/3. So here we have our 0, and let's say this is 1, this is 2. So this is 2/3. It does include the 2/3. It's greater than or equal to, so it does include the 2/3. So it's a closed circle plus everything that is larger. Number 6. 5t is greater than 3t minus 10. And we found out already, we already solved it. T is greater than -5. So notice it's not greater than or equal to, it's just greater than. So we have 0 here, we have -5 here. T is everything greater than -5. So the circle is open. Okay. Number 7, I'm not going to do it with you. Number 7, you can add it to your assignment as extra credit. Have fun. Have a great day.